Okay, and speaking of the uber rich, Dr. Reiser is the presenter tonight. And Harvey's got it all. His wife is beautiful. His kids are magnificently becoming successful. Great family, skilled surgeon. Right? Honestly, you don't have to ask him. He'll just tell you he's a good surgeon. Right? Right? He literally has it all. So I have to keep him grounded. I have to remind him that he's closer to $1 million in net worth than Jeff Bezos. Now I ask good Dr. Reiser to come on up and please, on behalf of eye care specialists. Thank you. That is unfair. I didn't know there was two. We've never met, so you see.
Thank you, guys. This is Mike Pisano. He just joined us. Interestingly, my daughter is finishing this year in ophthalmology training down in Florida, and Mike was a year ahead of her, and we're thrilled to have him. He's great. So if you come and see us, there's a lot of us. Mike's the newest, and we're thrilled to have him. Let me talk about this award. It's our privilege to present this next award. Each year, Northeast Sight Services, with eye care specialists as a sponsor, awards an individual who is blind or visually impaired and lives a life that reflects a level of independence that sets an example for others. This is an especially special award because it is named for the founder of Northeast Sight Services, Arline Phillips, who formed this agency almost 105 years ago to the day. Arline herself was blind and lived a life that was a true inspiration to our community and everyone who knew her. This year's recipient of the Arline Phillips Achievement Award, Coleman Plecker, and you might remember him from last year's dinner, represents all that Arline was.
His vision loss occurred later in life due to a lack of blood flow in his eyes brought on by glaucoma and diabetes. While this life change is often debilitating for a person, with the help of Northeast Sight Services, Coleman maintains his independence in both his home and the community, all while keeping a positive attitude and outlook on life. And for this, I am so pleased to present this year's Arline Phillips Achievement Award to Coleman Plecker, as he has lived his life in such a way that has and continues to demonstrate a lifestyle of independence which should be admired. Mr. Plecker.
This guy's too much.
You get out of, sometimes you get out of breath just getting to the podium. I tell you, it's tough getting old. I got to start off with one thing. If you were here last year, you remember the great device we showed of to help you eat salad if you're blind. You were here last year. I don't know what happened here. I'm really upset that I wasn't served. Instead they used the soup tureen. Last year we used the mason jar. And I've been watching the stock of the mason jars go up since I've been promoting it. So anyway, I was going to just mention a few things about that I've learned over the last year. I had shown, it was displayed here last year and used by all of us who had a salad. This year, I learned it was great for scrambled eggs, also great for peas, and also great for corn. So the only problem I found in a whole year of experimenting with this is that I was getting some problems with my hand. The top wasn't big enough and I was missing. And so what I've designed for this year, it's going to be in the gift catalog for the Northeast site, is the Kevlar glove. This is for protection of your hand when using the mason jar for yourself. There you go. I was quizzed by a lot of people about that this year. I was glad to see that we're getting used from it. And it is good for corn and, the scrambled eggs. That was the other thing, was very good. So, well, I don't know if I can take credit for it. It was the banquet manager here, young man, I forget his name, and he's the one who introduced me about it. I'll let him have partial credit. No question. But ladies and gentlemen, this is just a wonderful honor for me, and thank you very much. And Arline Phillips, what a pioneer. Can you imagine this? I think none of us are old enough to remember this, of course, but 1918, the women do not even have the right to vote yet. And here's a lady who's blind, gets a group of principals from the town of Wilkes-Barre and gets an association going to help people like me. And her goal was to help people help themselves. And through that, she went house to house, so in some cases, teaching Braille and teaching people how to use her house. And it leads me to think of what happened to me with Northeast Site. When I moved to the area, when I was losing my wife and I were both losing our sight at the same time, and I hope she's looking down tonight. Lost her earlier this year. But we called Northeast Site. My daughter actually promoted that first call, and then a couple staffers called me and said, we're coming out. Kristen and Mary Price, and Kristen came out and showed me how to use a phone. It's amazing. I can make phone calls now. I answer them. That's even better. And I started attending the monthly functions, and it's just great. You can't imagine if those of you who are volunteer, I saw Eileen's here, she's a volunteer, and watch us play a game of bingo. I mean, blind people playing a game bingo is great. Hey man, do you see that? I've never won. Never. I can't believe it. I'm glad I don't make a living playing that game. But it's incredible what the association does for people like me. And the encouragement we're given, we're shown how to use this stick. I mean, this is just a part of my life now, our walking stick. And Mary Price came out and trained me, and Jenna was a part-time summer person, and she came out a couple times a week and taught me to walk up and down the street, across the street without getting hit. It was perfect. So I want to tell you, this is the inspirational part. My thoughts tonight was to try to say something entertaining, something informative, and also something of inspiration. But I was a golf professional. I'm still a golf professional. I can't play, obviously, but I made a living doing it somehow. Made a living playing a game. And I was really in the dumps when I lost my sight. I knew it was going, but it really dumped me. And Kristen from the association called me. She says, Coleman, this is perfect for you. We have a class of students at the Misericordia College need to do a program with blind people or disabled. And they were going to use blind people in a swimming aerobics program. So I said, yeah, sign me up. Well, for the next 2 weeks, I'm trying to figure out how am I getting out of this thing? What am I going to say? I can't. Kristen's so damn nice. If you ever met her, she's the nicest person you ever want to meet. How can I call her and say I'm not going to play? So anyway, the day comes. I go outside and she said, "Oh, no problem. The bus will come up and pick you up, and I'll be there." Well, she wasn't there. The bus shows up, and Henry, the driver, who I got to know real well, he says, "Come on over here. We'll get you on." And then you got to walk up these steps, and I can't see anything. And I'm steps. I hadn't really learned to use the stick at that point either. So here I'm hanging on, going up. I feel like a monkey on a chimpanzee thing, you know, reaching up to grab hold. And all of a sudden, from inside the bus, "We'll help you. Come on, sit up here." There were other people that were blind. And I couldn't imagine that. Wait a minute. I thought I was the only one that was blind in the world. There were more. And that was the encouraging part to me, is the help I got from the other people I met on that bus that day. And it changed my life. And at that point, and no pun intended here, was either sink or swim with swimming. Either succumb or prosper to the situation. I decided I was going to prosper. And that's my story. And I am so glad I met Northeast I. And I thank God every day for Arline Phillips. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this. And if you're golfers, you might know what I'm saying here. And if you're not, you might learn to understand it. It's my inspiration words. Golf is a very simple game. There's one really basic rule in golf. But in golf, you get good lies and bad lies. Good breaks and bad breaks. But the most important thing is you have to play the ball as it lies. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's a wonderful moment in my life.
Amazing.